So welcome back to the channel. After my rambling hour-long video of last week, and thanks to those who reached out and gave some feedback. I think generally the people that saw it enjoyed it. So I thought I'd jump back in again into Assetto EVO. Obviously we've seen the bigger, and they're great, I like them, YouTubers, you know, out eating all the cars around the Nordschleife and enjoying the sim, which is great. But I think there's a bigger question here, and that's what I wanted to just talk about for a bit in this video. Is I'm actually asking myself whether, you know, sim racing will ever be quite the same again after this latest update. And again, I need to say that I probably got 40 hours in the original Assetto Corsa. A lot more in Assetto Corsa Competizione, I have to, honestly. So it never, you know, the original AC didn't really ever do anything for me. I just didn't find it engaging or really immersive. Really not done anything in it. So it's kind of even more surprising for me to be asking these questions. Yeah, does this, which I think it does. Yeah. If you're in this car, I think that this update and where this is going is going to fundamentally change sim racing. Now, again, I'm back in the Porsche Cup car. I hope that they're able to bring all of the cars across the cars that they have in the sim up to a similar level. Obviously, we've got other game sims mentioning their names like PMR that try to put in 70, 80 cars. They have zero data, I'm assuming, on a good portion of those, and then, you know, they're just not able to make anything believable from a lot of them. I think we saw in the other video that some of the other cars really have got some pretty fundamental flaws, but let's be positive, yeah? Maybe Kunos is going to be able to bring them all up as time goes on and get them up to the standard of this one. Because the reality is, again, all my driving, that there's just something about the way they have tweaked this, or the way that this development is going, that I think just takes sim racing to a completely different level. You know, the way the grip is transmitted through the car into the wheel. You know, when you're in a real car or on a track, you have to make your corrections very, very quickly, because when things start to go, it goes very quickly. We've all seen the kind of real videos of GT3 cars around the ring and things like that. And this, oh, nothing to see here. And this manages that. And then when you couple the way the grip comes in and out with how the weight is moving around, I just think you have something that we've not ever had before in sim racing. This, again, this is the closest you're going to get to feeling what it's like driving a real car on a real track. I have no doubt about that after playing all of the sims way back and having been lucky enough to drive many cars, different cars on many different tracks. I have no doubt about that. And I think another interesting point that flows from that is that I think a lot of people are going to have to, in some respects, some ways, relearn how they've been driving in sims, because you can't just yeet. Yeah, these cars are heavy, yeah, or a lot of the race cars are a lot heavier than you would think, and they feel heavier when you're driving. And when you smash over a curb or the back starts to go, there's a latency, there's a delay. You have to let the car settle down. You have to get it back on an even keel before you can start stamping on the loud pedal again. And I really think that a lot of people are going to have to change their driving style and understand a lot more about what the car is doing and how to be fast, rather than just kind of dealing with it on a binary approach. It's a terrible line through there, isn't it? I think a lot of people are going to have to relearn, and I think you may find a lot of people who were extremely fast before maybe not being as fast, or other people who've got a better handle on how these cars feel are going to be a lot quicker. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see. And let's hope that, as I was saying a couple of minutes ago, let's hope that Kunos is focused on the cars that they have in the sim. Let's hope that they can team up with the manufacturers or teams like they did for Assetto Corsa Competizione and get the data. I've always said, and I still believe it, that I'd much rather have 4 or 5 amazing cars in a sim than 60, where 40 of them are rubbish. I'd much rather they spent the time. I mean, it's just so communicative. I mean, I'm eating the steering around a bit to demonstrate the point, but it's just so communicative. And there is a latency, when the car goes over the curb, that takes time to travel through the suspension and the bodywork, which you can see here, even in terms of how the wheel is reacting to the car. So I think that's going to be interesting. I'll do a video on the wet weather driving as well. I've had a quick go in that. And then the last thing I just wanted to touch on, ignore my driving, was just the graphics. I mean, this is running in 2K just because, so I can get a smoothish recording. Looks like they've got some VRAM issues with the trees and things popping in and out, but I'm sure they can optimize that. This is running in 2K, basically on medium settings. With some of the more sophisticated effects set on low, and you can see it just looks amazing. I like the kind of lens bloom. Got a little fire here, look at this. I mean, it's easily done, right? But it just adds something else to the immersion and the experience it gives you when you're driving and racing. I mean, I think the graphics generally are just fantastic. I'm going to do another little video on that. So there you go. That is my comment for the day. I think this is going to take sim racing. They can carry on this kind of approach and bring the feelings out of the cars like this across the range of cars in a realistic way, and they spend the time to do that properly. Oy. Then this is gonna change sim racing completely. And we've got quite a few endurance races coming up with the little team we have, which will be in LMU and iRacing. And after driving around in this thing, I'm actually wondering how that's going to feel to get back into those sims. Because they're not anywhere near at this level now, and they're going to have to really step up, I think. And it's good. Maybe that's good for Kunos. Maybe they deserve, after developing the OG and it being still the most popular sim out there, maybe they deserve to continue that kind of leadership. Because they've done an amazing job. Let's just hope that they carry on with the future updates. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be putting out a little vlog of a track testing day with the 2 cars we did in a track in Belgium. So hopefully we can get that out early in the new year. See you in the next one.